Ever feel like your AI chat results are just fuzzy? Like you can't quite trust them and maybe standard prompting is actually holding you back? Well, if you feel like you're stuck in an AI chat trap, you are absolutely not alone. Today, in this explainer, we're unpacking a concept that is going to fundamentally transform how you work. It's called graph engineering, and it's time to break free from the trap.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the linear trap, define what graph engineering actually is, break down the anatomy of a graph, look at some real-world workflows, show you exactly how to get started, and finally, how to build your AI moat. Let's jump in.
Okay, part 1, the linear trap.
Picture this. You want to validate a massive startup idea, right? Let's say an AI bookkeeping product for Shopify. You go to a chatbot, you ask it a question, and boom, it spits out this super confident answer. But here's the problem. Relying on a single, straight-line chat means you are placing an enormous amount of blind trust into one messy blob of text. Think about it. One single model, in one pass, decided what mattered, did the research, interpreted the evidence, wrote the recommendation, and then graded its own homework. Building a business on that? That is a massive risk.
So what's the alternative? Well, the contrast here is pretty clear. Prompt engineering is basically just figuring out how to ask the AI a better question. But graph engineering? That shifts us away from just asking questions entirely. Instead, you're designing a structured system where the work lives outside of a single messy chat window. You are literally designing the work around the AI.
Moving right along to section 2. Let's define graph engineering.
Let's strip away all that intimidating computer science jargon for a second. Simply put, a graph is just different jobs connected by arrows. That's it. Each job is a step in your workflow, and the arrows just show what happens next. The state is simply the accumulated notes and evidence moving through that workflow. It's basically what the system knows so far. Honestly, this is exactly how real work gets done anyway.
Now, it's really crucial to distinguish between two concepts here. A knowledge graph helps AI reason over relationships and messy data. But today, we are focusing entirely on agent graphs. Agent graphs help the AI understand how the work itself should move. They act kind of like a small, managed team moving a project forward, step by step.
All right, section 3, the anatomy of a graph.
So how do we actually replace that messy chat with an agent graph? Well, instead of one big back-and-forth question and answer, the workflow splits. First up, you have a planner that breaks down the task. Then, parallel workers jump in to investigate simultaneously, so they're studying customers, competitors, and distribution all at the exact same time. Then comes the skeptic. Its job is to attack the evidence and separate real data from hallucinations. Next, the merge step pulls all those surviving facts into one solid recommendation. And finally, the human gate. That's you. You make the final expensive decision based on actual, vetted evidence.
Let's look at section 4, real-world workflows. Let's ground this in reality for a minute. Look, you don't need a graph to brainstorm 10 names for a dog, or to summarize a quick email. But if your work involves multiple steps, checks, or risks, like deploying code, deep startup research, or customer support triage, you absolutely need this structure. Take customer support. The real workflow isn't just answering a question, it's classifying the issue, checking the account history, searching internal docs, drafting a reply, checking the tone, and then getting a human to approve a refund.
Or take complex content creation as another example. A graph mimics how a real content lead works. It isolates the research step from the drafting step. It creates a thesis, finds examples, drafts the script, and then passes it to a checker agent to literally ask, hey, does this sound like a human? And only after passing that check does the graph branch out to generate your titles, captions, and thumbnails. It completely eliminates that fuzzy, straight-line chat experience.
Okay, section 5, getting started.
Now you might be thinking this requires complex coding or a whole team of developers. No way. The roadmap is actually highly accessible. Day 1, start manually. Just draw it out on a blank Excalibur or a whiteboard. Draw the jobs and lanes with arrows, and literally run the steps yourself. By week 2, have the AI save its work in Markdown files so you have a paper trail. You really shouldn't move to advanced automation tools like LangGraph or AutoGen until month 2. Trust me, if you try to automate a workflow you don't fully understand yet, you're just going to automate a massive mess.
Finally, section 6, the AI moat.
Before we wrap up, I need to give you a quick warning. Do not fall for those viral posts showing incredibly complex agent graphs with dozens of nodes. The rule of parsimony totally applies here.
More AI workers often just create noisy, fake waiting time where agents just coordinate instead of actually thinking. Or worse, you get 5 agents confidently repeating the exact same wrong idea. Your goal is to build the smallest, leanest graph possible that stops the exact moment the answer is good enough. Only put human approval where mistakes are expensive.
Because here is the true superpower of this whole framework. By capturing the useful state at every single step, the customer notes, the competitor evidence, the script drafts, each graph leaves a permanent paper trail. Every time you run a customer research graph, you are generating better customer notes for the next time. Your work starts producing memory. It builds a context moat. It becomes a permanent asset that makes your next project and your AI exponentially smarter.
Okay, let's do a rapid core review. AI chat is a linear trap. Graphs are just jobs connected by arrows. Start manually, map out your planner, parallel workers, skeptic, and merge steps, and always end with a human gate for those expensive decisions. Your one big takeaway for today is this: don't just try to ask AI better questions, design a structured workflow around the AI to build your context moat. So I want to hear from you. Think about that single, messy AI workflow you run every week. If you were to map out and structure your first graph today, what is your very first step? Leave your action plan in the comments below, and I'll jump in to help you avoid the common pitfalls. And hey, while you're down there, leave a comment to grab the full tool checklist and mind map for this explainer. Thanks for hanging out with us today.